Hey, so last fall I did a Vlogbrothers inspired Thoughts from Places style video about New York City, and I went back to New York City last month and I thought some more stuff, so here it is. This one starts at the airport, because instead of taking a solo trip, this time I had two traveling companions, namely my mom, who doesn't like to appear on camera, and my dad, who occasionally submits to it. Our flight was exceedingly empty, and I covertly tried to document that, also managing to open my window at the exact right moment to catch this plane's majestic takeoff. Soon we took off as well, and before we knew it, we were in an equally deserted baggage claim at New York's LaGuardia Airport. We waited for my dad's bag to arrive, and while we did, I noted the odd signage, including a concerned-looking suitcase questioning the identity of our luggage, and the oddly philosophical notion that bags look alike and that we shouldn't judge them by appearance, but by claim check. Our next stop was a Times Square hotel, conveniently located across the street from a chocolate candy-coated Mecca. We unloaded our things and I admired the city, which I soon admired on foot as we took a stroll. The next day we went to the Museum of Natural History, which my dad jokingly referred to as stuff thing, dead thing, stuff thing. I'd never been there before and it was a really cool place. I enjoyed, among other things, pretending that this aquatic creature was my pet, and that this lovely spot was the view from my own private living room. Then a guy with a backpack walked through my living room. Later brought a much-anticipated meetup with my best friend Sabrina. We went to Bloomingdales with my mom to get hands down the best frozen yogurt in the world, which, although her face isn't an indication, even my mom seemed to enjoy. We then sought out a snack cart with the sole purpose of obtaining this chocolate waffle. I mentioned last time that Sabrina is one of the nicest people in the world, further evidenced here by the fact that she held an umbrella over me while I stuffed my face. Sabrina and I struck out on our own later and discovered a Mexican restaurant where we had probably the most epic guacamole ever. Let it not be said that she and I don't take advantage of the food that New York City has to offer, because we take advantage of it hard. That evening brought a big family dinner. A lot of my mom's family lives in New York. I got to see aunts, uncles, and a few of my youngest cousins. I did a little vlogging with them and discovered the very delightful phenomenon that when given a camera, most kids enjoy putting it very close to their faces. It looked like fun, so I joined in. Now, the last time I was in New York, it was October, and I was visiting Sabrina. The weather was gorgeous, cannolis were had, and sights were seen. I took a ton of footage and later tried to wax poetic about the city and what it means to me. But this trip was somewhat different, and when I looked at the footage afterward, it didn't seem to tell the same kind of story. I think that's because it was a different story that was being told. New York in October is the New York of movies, lush and beautiful and iconic. But New York in February is the New York of New Yorkers. And my parents, former New Yorkers themselves, and I, who have been courting the city long distance for some number of years now, went to New York not to see Times Square or Fifth Avenue, but to be with the people who make New York home for us. That night after our family dinner, we took a cab back to our hotel. I love New York City at night, and I love seeing it from the backseat of a cab. In that evening's ride, I had no idea that the next morning our flight would be canceled, leading to a very long day at the airport. And I didn't know that as aggravating as it would be, that cancellation would allow us to see this sunset as we flew back. Our cab joined a league of taxis that all looked alike, but as the odd airport sign decreed, should not be judged by appearance, but in this case by content. The content was my family, and even though the cab was taking us back to our hotel, I already felt like I was home.